Yeah. Hey. Shipped from the shores of Cape Coast, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, Senegal, black gold they were hauling. 400 years it was hard then. Kept striving to be free from Marcus the Bois. Can't forget Kwame. For reparations they did pray. To unite in their honor we do say, Yanko, Yanko, Africa. Yanko, Yanko, Africa. Yanko, Yanko, Africa. Yanko, Yanko, Africa.
Africa, my name is Ujamaa. I thank you for tuning in today. If you are a member of our social media platform, such as YouTube, I thank you very much for subscribing. We greatly appreciate it. We would ask you to please go ahead and click the notification bell so that you're also notified each time that we upload a share to this platform. Now, please know that all of what we're doing will not be posted to social media platforms, although we will be expanding our presence on social media. What we do will mostly be posted either to our own web pages, which is www.yanko.africa or www.yankoafrica.com, and on our Patreon page for Patreon members who will receive Patreon exclusive content, webinars, training sessions, and expanded versions of what we're sharing in other places, okay? And so today I want to speak to you about Susuing, okay? And so, for example, on our Patreon account, what we'll be doing is we'll have, in the future, we'll be bringing in people who are Susu bankers, who can assist us with connecting with banks on the continent, and here groups that are active groups in the U.S. and also building your own, okay? And so we'll talk about that at another time with our Patreon group and on our website. But today I just want to give you the basics of Susuing and why it's vital for us who are throughout the diaspora or already on the continent to utilize this wonderful gift, this skill, this craft, this just art of Susuing, okay? And how it's going to help you, and really how it's the key to how many people are being able to accomplish their goals, okay? For those who were born in the diaspora, particularly in America, you may not know or may have not heard of Susuing, okay? And let me just tell you briefly what it is. Susuing is an agreement between a group of friends or associates or people who come together and agree that they are going to pool their money together to help members of that particular Susu group accomplish their goals, okay? And so, for example, just to give you a brief example, let's say 10 people get together and they say we each need to raise $5,000, and here's what we're going to do. For each member who can afford it, because you won't start a Susu group with someone who cannot afford it. Not only will they need to be trustworthy and someone that you personally trust, but also they need to have the ability to meet their commitment, okay? They can be trustworthy, they can make every effort, but if they just do not have the means to meet their commitment at a certain level, perhaps they need to be a part of another Susu group, or there are other ways where you can break it up. And we'll go into more details on our Patreon page, you know, ways you can become creative and still reach your goal, okay? But say, for example, each member of the group is able to contribute $500 per month, and they each have a goal of $5,000, okay? And so they decide that each month we're going to contribute $500, and each month one person is going to take the pot, all right? A Susu group also has a banker, someone who's in charge of disbursements, someone who is, you know, you all trust, and you put some things in place to make sure that they don't run away with the money as well, okay? All right, so, and we'll also go into the net that you all should create, tips on how to do that over on our Patreon account, okay? But just basics. Each person comes, contributes $500, and every month each member of the group receives their $5,000 payout, and they continue to make their $500 payment the next month until every member has received their payout. Okay, it's as simple as that. If you have the means, we can even reduce it. Say each member has $1,000 goal. Each member puts $100 in. You can do it weekly. You can do it bi-weekly. You can do it monthly. However you guys set it up, and then each member is able to reach their goal. So you can do it in as short. If you have 10 members, you can do it in as short as 10 weeks, or you can expand it to 10 months. Whatever your goal is, okay, and whatever each member is able to fulfill. Okay, so this is greatly needed, simply because most of us do not have the funds. For example, say you wanted to just rent a place on the continent. The way things work typically on the continent is for rentals, you don't just go and pay month to month, or if you do find a month to month, it's usually going to be for more than what the standard rate is. Typically, they will want 2 years to 1 year, or even 6 months, unless you're working with an agent who can really work with you, and that's where we come in as well. Okay, and this is something that I learned after 16 years on the continent. I actually learned it before 16, but in my 16-year experience, even working with agents who used to tell me that it is impossible, you cannot find a short term, and I would tell them, you know, their answer to me was, you can't get, and my answer was, I will get. Okay, and I did get. Same thing with purchasing cars. They would say, you can't get a car for this amount, a good car, and by Yah's grace, I did. But not only Yah's grace, by diligence, persistence, and a lot of going up and down the road, okay? And so I have the experience of pounding the sand and the dirt and the clay, okay? And not necessarily, because every place is not going to be pavement on the continent. And so with that experience, I want to share it with you all. There is a part of this social media where we come on and we show you the everyday life on the continent. We give you free information on these platforms, but then there's a business side to what we do as well, because we are running a business, and then we also work with people who are running their business. And on the continent, everything's going to cost you something, okay? And that's another thing that we need to get in mind. So if you are considering renting someplace on the continent, say you find something that's $300 a month, but they're wanting 2 years in advance. That's going to be 1 year is $3,600, 2 years is going to be $7,200. Okay, most of us do not have $7,200 just sitting in our pocket that we can just go ahead and pay someone just for rent. Okay. We haven't put any furniture in the place, haven't done anything else, okay? You're going to need Susuing to help you at some time to accomplish goals, be it businesses, be it, you know, sometimes it's just your daily needs, school fees for your kids, whatever it is. Sometimes it's just to make it through when you're expecting something to come in, or you're expecting some money from someplace else, and you just have this little bit amount of money, but you need something to get you through. But remember, you do not commit to a Susu unless you know for sure that you're going to be able to meet the minimum qualifications, which is whatever your contribution is for each group member, okay, and meet it on time so that everyone is able to reach their goals. All right, so this is just a brief summary of what Susuing is. We'll be going into more details, as I said, on our Patreon page, and providing seminars and webinars in the future with those who are on the continent, and also connecting with those who are in the diaspora, who are running, you know, Susus that have been operating for a long time, and also learning from them, and also assisting you with starting your own if that's what you would like to do. Remember, Susus are not banks, they're not investment firms, they are not FDIC insured. You operate a Susu and participate in a Susu at your own risk. Okay, so this is not an attempt to give you any kind of financial advice or anything of that sort, but to let you know that this is an option that's being practiced. And this is how many of the people that we observe, especially those of us in America who have lost this art because it was taken away from us, because it was a form of empowerment. But those who were in the Caribbean and South America, and those who have a close connection to Africa and Europe, they were still practicing it. And on the continent, they still practice it. It's common. It's every day you will see a Susu banker or Susu banks throughout the continent. Okay, so I just want to share that with you and say, consider becoming and starting your own Susu club. If you'd like to find out more, become a Patreon member, and in the future we'll be discussing this. I can't guarantee you exactly when. And also go to our website, www.yanko.africa, www.yankoafrica.com. We will be posting more things on our website, and everything that we discuss will not be discussed on our social media platform. Check out our blog. We'll be covering things on that section as well that we will not post to social media. All right, thank you for tuning in, and have a wonderful day. Shalom.